Axis Bank's profit growth in the December quarter. Asset quality remained steady, but slippages rose for the private lender. Now, Shefali is standing by with the fine print of the numbers, what came out in the con call, and the dichotomy between the good news and the bad news for Axis Bank. Shefali, good morning. And it's a difficult one to call because some factors maybe they scored, but some factors a lot left to be desired.
Well, yes, as far as the business momentum is concerned, things are still going fine there, even though there are some misses on that front as well. For instance, loan growth was lower than the expectations. But I think the bigger miss was when it comes to containing the fresh NPL formation, which is the slippages basically. So they managed the headline NPAs, which is a gross and net NPAs, but the internals were weak in the form of the slippages going up. So starting with the basic numbers, the net interest income went up 15%. PPOP was also a miss, growing by just about 4%, and profit went up 4.5%. That was a big miss as far as the headline numbers are concerned. And why profit was impacted? Because of the higher operating expenses during the quarter. Remember, just a few days back there were reports of mass resignations. So the management did to counter that. The management said that they've hired over 12,000 odd people over last couple of months this financial year. So that is what the management said. And I think the attrition rate, which I picked up from one of the reports, is something like a 19%, even though there was no comparative figure given. But I think that is the only thing. And the management said yesterday during the press conference that they have hired talents across various segments. So that is a reason. So the one-time impact on the operating expenses was 120 crores, because of which profit was a miss. Other than that, loan growth was lesser than the expectations at 16%, deposits growth as well 15 odd percent, and one of the brokers is pointing out it's just the last quarter that they raised money. So considering that, it's a miss as far as the loan growth is concerned and the operating profits. So it's a miss on these two parameters. Now coming to the asset quality, which is the concerning point. So 2 quarters back, remember, the management said that they have identified stressed exposures worth 12,000 crores. So that is what spoke the stock after the results came out. But then in Q2 they managed. The asset quality was appreciable. The street didn't really raise much objections to that. But this time again, it has concern because the total slippages have gone up to 6,200 crores versus 4,983 crores. So even though it looks like the BB and the below book, which is the watch list, has gone down 18% on a sequential basis. But if you look at the breakup, the corporate slippages look higher, 3,800 crores versus 2,800 crores. That's a jump of 1,000 crores. And the reason why BB and below book has gone down is because something has slipped out of that. So one housing finance exposure has slipped out of that, and the non-fund exposure has actually gone up because of a telecom exposure that they have. So that is one key thing. And the recoveries were also more or less stable. The write-offs were lesser this time on a sequential basis. And what is the management? So management also said the same thing during the press conference, that it's the higher operating expenses which led to this dent on the bottom line. So that's how the results fared for Axis Bank this time.
Okay, just one small question. I heard you mention that the asset quality had mixed issues, but there was some bit of stress seen. Have brokerages made note of any of this? Even if they may not have been target price changes, are people turning a bit more skeptical because quarter after quarter we're seeing an issue or two recurringly come up on Axis Bank? From
whichever notes that I've seen 5-6 notes, there are question marks that the wait gets longer for the book to get absolutely clean. So those kind of questions, coming up, that for how long do we see these asset quality issues continuing with Axis Bank?